Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? Yay, I'm here with you guys today. We are going to be using the Legendary Ride stamp set and Legendary Ride dies this week. I also threw this in here because we have the metal plate 3D embossing folder. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to show you that because I will be using that, not on every project, but on some. But what I wanted to point out to you today is that you have these fantastic dies and these beautiful stamps. You have 4 different sentiments, and then you have 5 images that can be die cut, and then you have some standalone dies. The flame, these cut out, that one cuts that cuts that, the wrench, the flame, this. But these are all standalone. When combined together, you can make you a little motorcycle. So that's what we're gonna make today, is this motorcycle right here. Pretty cool, right? I think so. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna have the dies in there just so that I can show you what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna show you some of the die cut pieces that we have. So we have some wheels, and then we have the rims, and we have this really cool die. See all of the intricate parts to it. I think it's pretty awesome. I love that it indents and kind of embosses and die cuts at the same time. And then I wanted the motorcycle to have white paint. So the seat's gonna be white, and the little covers for the wheels. And I'm making the tank also white. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna start with my silicone mat here. And this die cut is what cuts out this motorcycle right here. So if you stamp it and you die cut it out, this is the same die that you're gonna use to do that, okay? So it's this large motorcycle die that's in there. There's also a small motorcycle, but there's no parts that you can put on it, just a large one. So we're gonna start with this large motorcycle die, and the first thing that we are gonna do is we are going to attach this body work here. It's kind of all the steel elements, the cool tank, the seats on here. But it gives us a nice base that's going to peek out through all the chrome that I have chosen to add to it. So I'm going to put this one right here, and let's go ahead and get our wet adhesive. We're going to add a little bit. And of course, you know, my tweezer is going to be my best friend on this project. If you don't have a tweezer, I will link the tweezers that I like, and I'll put it in the description of the video. All right, so see how this kind of fits? You just have to, whoops, you just have to slide it into place and get it to sit well, kind of up like that. Okay, so there is that little section. And I like to use my adhesive eraser just to make sure that I don't have any extra glue. I didn't use too much glue on that piece, but so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get our tires ready. We're gonna do those next. So we're gonna add our tires right here. This is gonna be fun, right? We're gonna add our little rim, but let's go ahead and glue our tires together first. So I have the rims, and then we're gonna put the rubber onto them. Okay, so we'll flip that over, And I will grab my wet adhesive, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue all the way around. And we'll do this one as well. My nails are getting too long and I'm gonna have to cut them soon. They get in my way when they get too long. Things like this happen. Oh boy. Okay, so there's the glue. Let's grab our tweezer and we're gonna fit the rim or the wheel on the rim. So you wanna just pull that so that it covers all on the edges, so that you make sure that it's all the way nice to the outside edges. So let's do the other. So there's our wheels. We can add those. So let's put our wheels on now. The only reason I'm putting the glue on both pieces is because they're the same. Normally I would not. I would just do one thing at a time. So let's bring this down so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my wheels on. I want to make sure that they are nice and stuck down. And let's do our other one as well. Okay, so there's our two. That's what we have so far. Okay, let's add our little chrome underworkings here. This is going to add this holder that holds those wheels in place. And so this piece has a lot of really thin, intricate parts. So just take your time and just barely squeeze your glue. Just get a little bit to come out, and you don't need much. This glue is pretty strong. I get carried away with it sometimes, but try not to. And you want to go around all your parts and pieces. You can also use the detail, for the detail dies like this, you can always use those adhesive sheets. Of course, I never think about them until it's too late. But since you guys are watching me, you can cut yours with adhesive sheets now that you know what to use. And I'm gonna put a graphic on the blog today, and you should be able to see that if you go to the link for my blog. And that graphic is going to help you because it is going to show you the steps for putting this together. So I've made you a little graphic, but I also wanted to have a video for you so that if you wanted to put yours together right alongside me, you could do that. Now, let me talk a little bit about the tank. So this is looking pretty good so far, right? Isn't this a cool little bike? So the tank is supposed to be like that chrome color, and I wanted mine to be white. A lot of time on the bikes, they match whatever it is. So I am going to actually take this piece here, and I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to outline. I cut another piece. So I put a little piece of white, like a scrap of white. I'll show you in a second when I'm done tracing this. And I put it under this die right here so that I could just cut out this little portion, okay? And now I've used my pencil, And of course, I have all those little pieces around there, so I have to join it. But I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim this because there's an opening in the center, and I want the tank to look white all the way. So I'm just going to cut on the line. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to cover the hole in the center of that tank. So don't sweat it if it doesn't look perfectly cut. So I'm going to throw that little scrap away. And I am going to add, well, first I'm going to snip these pieces off because I only want the tank. So there's that. I suppose I could snip it off and then trace it, but either way, doesn't really matter. So we'll get rid of those pieces. So now I want to glue this to this piece here. Okay, let's get rid of those. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to add some glue to the back of this little tank area. And then we're going to attach that onto that piece that I cut. And if anything is sticking out, it's okay. We can just trim it off. But you just want to have enough on there to glue this down. I'm going to trim my edges, make sure that it's nice and rounded. I guess trim inside the lines. I cut on the outer part of those lines, but I think I'm going to trim on the innards. And I don't have too much, just 2 small spots here. All right, so now I have my tank. I'm going to glue it over that silver. I didn't really want the tank to be silver. I wanted it to match the seats. So there is that piece. And we are going to glue this right over that tank. I think it's pretty and white because the rest of the parts of the bike are white. All right, so there's the tank. And now we're going to do the seat. So we'll put a little glue. And this is the double seat, right? The one that sits up high. I don't know the actual terminology because I am not a biker. But those of you who are biker babes or guys that ride motorcycles will know the right terms for this. But there are the 2 seats. The one that the driver sits in and the passenger seat. And now we're going to cover those chrome with white. I guess these are fenders, maybe? I don't know. I don't know the right terms, but I do know that I love this set. I think it's fabulous. It's a great set, and it's one of those sets that, you know, Stampin' Up! Doesn't come out with a ton of sets like this, and you got to get them while you can, because if you don't, you'll wish you had when that occasion comes up and you need a motorcycle card and you don't have anything, right? All right. Another way you can put this together as well is to not have the black anchor, but I think it looks really good on this particular bike. See that around the chrome? But you could put it together without that black anchor there. You could always tuck in a little bit of color here behind this light. Should we put something on the light instead of that black? Let me see if I have a scrap laying around anywhere that I could use. I have a little scrap of orange. Let's do that. Let's trace it. Stick it in there. And trace it, and I'll cut it inside that line. Hey, improv. sure that this one is cut, because I won't be able to trim it again. That it is cut shorter. And all right, we'll put some glue on the back, and we'll have a little colored light there. Let's see if I can stick that in there. Oh, this is so cool. There we go. Look at that. Looks pretty good. I really love this set. So that's how you make your die cut bike. And then of course, you know, if you have a little extra glue on the pieces, you can always, you know, lift it up with your eraser. That's what I love about this adhesive remover. If you get a little wet glue on things and you touch things and they're a little sticky. But yeah, there is our little motorcycle. Very pleased. Let me bring in the chart again for you. So these are all of the dies and the stamps that are in that set. And that is your completed motorcycle. And I think it turned out pretty awesome. I'm happy with that little orange light in there. And definitely come back tomorrow where I will have another project using these fantastic products, the Legendary Ride stamp set, dies, and then of course the metal plate 3D embossing folder. We'll put that up here. We'll add our motorcycle. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate having you. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!